Suseme panangit samu.
Welcome to Things You Should Know, the Preservation Project. Today we're going to talk about the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, formed of volunteer Japanese men and who would prove the U.S. government was wrong to doubt people of Japanese ancestry's loyalty and pride in the United States during World War II. At the beginning of World War II, people of Japanese ancestry were unconstitutionally interred in the United States' own version of concentration camps, in a racist purge of any threats the white citizens of the U.S. could find. Loyal Japanese American men, however, wished to prove these racist lies wrong and joined with what was known as the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. The 442nd's motto, "Go for broke," was a gambling term that means risking everything on one hand or one roll of the die. This was appropriate as people of Japanese descent were viewed by racist government and citizens as traitors and enemies of the USA. Nothing could be further from the truth, and these Nisei, second-generation sons of Japanese immigrants, engaged in a war on two fronts, the first being the Nazis of Germany and the other being racists in the United States of America. Part of the war against the people of Japanese ancestry started on January 19, 1942, when all Japanese Americans in the U.S. Army's ROTC program were discharged with a draft status of 4C, classifying these soldiers as enemy aliens. Those men and others that supported them were not going to take that lying down. 170 students petitioned the military governor stating, "Hawaii is our home, the United States our country. We know but one loyalty, and that is to the Stars and Stripes. We wish to do our part as loyal Americans in every way possible, and we hereby offer ourselves for whatever service you may see fit to use us." This gave enough doubt to the idea that these men were traitors that the 442nd Regimental Combat Team was activated on February 1, 1943. Composed of American-born Japanese called Nisei, or second generation. Some volunteered from Hawaii, others from 10 internment centers on the mainland. It should be noted that the Army was still a racist institution and that the commander and most company-grade officers were white. The team included the 442nd Infantry Regiment with 3 battalions, the 522nd Field Artillery Battalion, the 232nd Engineer Company, and after a year of individual unit training at Camp Shelby, Mississippi, the unit deployed to the Mediterranean in May 1944, breaking off the 1st Battalion, remaining at Camp Shelby to train replacements, and was redesignated the 171st Infantry Battalion. The 442nd RCT joined the 100th Infantry Battalion in Italy and entered combat on the 26th of June 1944. Attached to the 34th Infantry Division, and over the next 2 months the newcomers fought as well as their predecessors, earning 9 Distinguished Service Crosses, while the 100th earned 3 more. On August 10, 1944, the 100th Battalion formally became part of the 442nd RCT as its 1st Battalion. In September, the 442nd RCT was reassigned to the 7th Army for the invasion of southern France. It was attached to the 36th Infantry Division for the drive into the Vosges Mountains. In 4 weeks of heavy combat in October and November 1944, the 442nd RCT liberated Bruyères and Bifontaine and rescued a lost battalion that had become cut off from the 36th Division. For this, the 100th, 2nd, and 3rd Battalions, 442nd Battalion, and the 232nd Engineer Company were each awarded a Distinguished Unit Citation. These citations were later redesignated as the Presidential Unit Citation. After duty in the Maritime Alps, guarding the French-Italian border, the 442nd RCT was reassigned in March 1945 to the 5th Army for the Po Valley Campaign. Attached to the 92nd Infantry Division, an African-American unit, the 442nd RCT helped drive the Germans from northern Italy. One of its soldiers, Private First Class Sadeo S. Munomori, was awarded the Medal of Honor posthumously. The 442nd RCT was demobilized and inactivated in August of 1946. The lineage and honors have been preserved by the 100th Battalion of the 442nd Infantry U.S. Army Reserve. The 442nd Regimental Combat Team is the pinnacle of the United States Army. They were the most decorated unit of its size and length of service during the entire history of the U.S. military. Starting with 4,000 men in April 1943, they would see so much combat and take so many losses that by the end of it, the unit had replaced those 4,000 men overall by more than 3.5 times, for a total of more than 14,000 Japanese American servicemen. The unit would receive more than 9,400 Purple Hearts, 21 Medals of Honor, and an unmatched 8 Presidential Unit citations. Well, that is all for now. Join us next time on Things You Should Know, the Preservation Project.
Suseme pa, panangit sa